now really understand where and when the first human lived and how it evolved.
Africa never fails to captivate with its hidden treasures and enigmatic past, but for this video, we are diving into the dark side. I am talking about discoveries of ghostly shipwrecks and eerie mummies that will have you sleeping with the lights on. They even found treasures. Get ready, because we are about to look through the most unsettling discoveries in Africa. So, without any delay, let's get to it. Number 1. Cave of Swimmers. Nestled in the mountainous Gilf Kebir plateau of the Libyan desert is the Cave of Swimmers, home to ancient rock art. This desert is a desolate place with no civilization for hundreds of miles. It was thought life never existed here until October 1933, when Hungarian explorer Laszlo Almasi discovered the cave with its prehistoric paintings. The cave got its name from paintings depicting humans with their limbs bent as if swimming, suggesting this place was filled with water thousands of years ago. These paintings, estimated to be around 10,000 years old, date back to the African humid period, when the Sahara was covered with trees and lakes. More recently, about 10 kilometers away, another site with prehistoric paintings was discovered, the Cave of Beasts. This site provides more detailed insights into this mysterious and forgotten civilization. From all kinds of animals and hand stencils to depictions of hunting and mothers holding their children, one of the most intriguing paintings shows strange creatures with no heads, humanoid legs, and bodies like huge bulls, apparently devouring humans. Whether these mythological creatures were symbols of death or creations of our ancestors' imagination, we might never know. But even after thousands of years, these paintings speak to us, letting us experience their lives in a different way. Number 2. Omo Valley. Omo Valley in southwestern Ethiopia is famous for its 8 native tribes, each with its own culture and customs. These tribes are so removed from the modern world that it is unbelievable that they are living and breathing at the same time, and goes on to show the incredible diversity among humans. One of the most well-known tribes from Omo Valley is the Mercy tribe, famous for some unusual practices that astonish the world, truly illustrating that beauty is a matter of perception. The women of this tribe wear wooden lip plates, a tradition that goes beyond mere adornment. This practice involves cutting the lower lip during adolescence and holding it open for several months. Despite the pain, the lip plate symbolizes great beauty within the tribe. These practices may be hard to believe for you, but Omo Valley holds even more astonishing discoveries that have baffled scientists and reshaped our understanding of human evolution. In the lower part of the valley, a scientific team unearthed 2 partial skulls, 4 jaws, a leg bone, and numerous teeth. Before this discovery, modern humans were believed to have evolved no more than 100,000 years ago. However, these bones, exhibiting an overall modern human morphology, were dated back to almost 200,000 years ago. The discovery forced scientists to reconsider the timing of modern human evolution. Ethiopia's Omo Valley connects us to history like nowhere else, with tribes that continue to practice centuries-old customs and human remains that reveal ancient origins of our species. Number 3. Mtoto's grave. Early humans from Africa were once believed to lack complex emotional behaviors, but that perspective changed dramatically in 2013. A team of researchers stumbled upon a pit-like structure about 10 feet underground. Initially, the bones they found were thought to belong to an animal, but proper lab examinations revealed they were the remains of a 3-year-old child from around 78,000 years ago, making it the oldest known burial site in Africa. Scientists named this child Mtoto, and what fascinated researchers the most was the peculiar way Mtoto was buried. The body was positioned on its side, with legs drawn up, and the head was elevated by a pillow-like support. This suggests there might have been a funeral, indicating that these Stone Age humans had an emotional connection to the deceased child. Mtoto's grave offers a new glimpse into our ancestors' emotional capacities, shedding light on the behaviors that make us truly human. Number 4. Crazy Beast. When you think of Madagascar, what comes to mind first? Probably the movie and its mischievous animals, right? Madagascar lives true to its reputation for having strange species, and it turns out that the island's unusual inhabitants have existed since the dinosaur era. Researchers, led by Dr. David Krause, uncovered fossils of a mammal that lived approximately 200 million years ago. These creatures were called Adelatherium, which means crazy beast, and they went extinct approximately 66 million years ago. Compared to other mammals of its time, this species was a giant, despite being only 20 inches long. The more scientists investigated its anatomy, the more bewildered they became. The crazy beast had front teeth like a rabbit, back teeth unlike any other mammal, living or extinct, and a mix of back limbs resembling those of a crocodile and front limbs like most mammals today. Not only is this mammal the largest known Mesozoic mammal, but in 2020, researchers discovered a nearly complete skeleton of the crazy beast. This makes it the only mammal from that era with such a complete fossil record. The Adelatherium, with its bizarre features, shows that nature has always had a wild sense of humor when it comes to creating strange species. Number 5. Ghost shipwrecks. With a nickname of Skeleton Coast, Namibia's northern coastline has witnessed a few hundred marine disasters over time and now serves as the graveyard to many of those ships. The reason behind so many wrecks near this coast is the combination of thick fog, strong winds, and shifting sands. Most of these shipwrecks are barely recognizable now after rotting away in years of rust, but few of them are in remarkably nice condition. However, if you are thinking the name Skeleton Coast comes from shipwrecks washed up on the Namib desert beach, you are mistaken. The coast's spooky name comes from the bones that lined the beaches as a result of whaling operations and seal hunts. And get this, some of those skeletal remains were of humans. The bomb Jesus, a trading ship that sank in the early 16th century while traveling from Portugal to India, is one of the oldest and most valuable shipwrecks discovered on the Skeleton Coast. The bomb Jesus was forgotten until 2008, when a diamond mining firm discovered copper ingots and elephant tusks. Following a month of digging and excavation, the shipwreck was discovered, and 40 tons of cargo were recovered from the excavation site. Who knows how many other forgotten treasures like the bomb Jesus are hidden on the Skeleton Coast, waiting to be found. Number 6. Sky blue stones. David Ledbetter, a gem and diamond prospector, heard a rumor about strange blue stones found in a village in Sierra Leone. Thinking they might be diamonds, he secured mining rights and had the poor villagers search for them. To David's astonishment, they ended up finding something still unexplained to this day. These captivating bluish stones were initially thought to be turquoise. However, when David sent them to various labs worldwide for testing, the results were shocking. The stones had no mineral origin. They were composed of 77% oxygen and 20% carbon, unlike any gemstones found on Earth, suggesting they might have an extraterrestrial origin. Scientists believe these stones could be remnants of a meteorite that might have hit Africa thousands of years ago. However, local legend tells a different story. According to the lore, these stones were pieces of the sky that broke apart and fell when God banished the angels from heaven to earth. The angels themselves were believed to be the Nomoli figures found underground or within the caves of Sierra Leone. So, what are these Nomoli figures? While not new to the African people, the true origin of these statues remains shrouded in mystery, aside from the legend. These giant reptilian humanoid statues date back as far as 19,000 years. The odd composition of the sky blue stones and their connection to the statues continues to fascinate conspiracy theorists. Since this story gained popularity, many other scientists have come forward to debunk the theories, calling the sky blue stones a hoax. While we may never have definitive answers about the mysterious stones and Nomoli statues, they remain magnificent representations of ancient African civilizations and their spiritual beliefs. Number 7. Deadly Lake. You may never come across Medusa who can turn you to stone with one glance, but Mother Nature has the power to do so if you take a dip in Lake Natron in Tanzania. The lake bed is enriched with sodium carbonate, making the water extremely alkaline. These raised pH levels create a suitable habitat for haloarchaea, salt-loving microorganisms known for their red pigmentation, which gives Lake Natron its striking red color. However, that's not what it's famous for. The main reason Lake Natron is notorious is its hazardous nature. The high levels of sodium bicarbonate can lead to the calcification of animals and birds that end up in the lake, turning them into salty statues. While these elevated pH levels won't mummify you if you fall in, they will certainly start burning your skin, earning the lake its nickname, the Deadly Lake. The chemical composition of the lake is due to the deposition of rare carbonatite lava from the volcanic activity of Old Doinyo Lengai. Most animal life can't survive in this environment, but flamingos thrive here. Their tough skin and scales on their legs prevent burns, allowing them to nest and feed in the lake. So unless you have flamingo scales or glands to secrete the salt, don't think you can take a dip here. Number 8. Dendera Temple of Hathor. One of the best preserved temples from ancient times is located in Dendera, Egypt. While that sounds exciting, the temple walls and their carvings will truly leave your jaw dropped. The construction of the Temple of Hathor, dedicated to the Egyptian goddess Hathor, is believed to have started around 54 BC. The carvings on its walls depict the zodiac system, the ancient Egyptian queen Cleopatra VI, and many other deities. However, the most intriguing stone relief is the Dendera light. This relief is named for its resemblance to a large light bulb, similar to a crookie's tube, with a lotus socket at one end. Just like how a bulb has filaments inside, the Dendera light shows a snake-shaped cord within it. The carving also depicts a priest holding the bulb, a baboon standing in front of it with 2 knives, a small figure directing the bulb upwards, and a few other smaller figures underneath. What makes this carving seem like an actual light bulb is the 2-armed DJed pillar connected to the cord inside, which resembles a modern frequency transformer. With these resemblances, conspiracy theorists have put forward the possibility that the ancient Egyptians possessed complex knowledge and understanding of electricity. Could the Dendera light really indicate that ancient Egyptians had a grasp of electrical concepts, or is it simply a fascinating coincidence? Number 9. Human ancestor. Did you know that humans first evolved in Africa? All the fossils of early humans come almost entirely from this continent. Even though Homo sapiens are the only surviving human species today, other human species existed alongside our ancestors. In 2013, fossils from a South African cave revealed that there were even more cousins of Homo sapiens than previously thought. These fossils displayed a unique combination of human and non-human traits throughout their skeletons. Their hands, wrists, and feet were similar to those of modern humans, but they had small skulls and upper bodies like the early human species Homo habilis. These fossils were given the subspecies name Homo naledi and were dated to be between 236,000 and 335,000 years old. This means they were living and surviving at the same time as other big-brained human species. One of the most intriguing aspects of this discovery is how these remains ended up 80 meters deep into the cave system in complete darkness. This suggests some sort of intentional placement, but the exact reasons and methods remain a mystery. Much about Homo naledi remains unknown, and future finds may reveal more about their tools, languages, and social behaviors. Wouldn't it be cool to have another human species around today? Number 10. Stone circles. Along the north of the Gambia River, a 350 kilometers long and 100 kilometers wide zone is filled with more than 1,000 stone circles, totaling 28,931 stones. Excavations revealed that these monuments date back between the 3rd century BC and the 16th century AD, predating the communities that now live there. However, local legends still exist that these stones were brought to honor the dead and that lights of holy spirits appear at night, prompting some people to practice rituals at the site, such as hugging the stones and praying. One part of the local belief that holds true is that these sites served as burial grounds. Archaeologists have found human remains and artifacts, confirming the funerary purpose. Each stone, weighing around 10,000 pounds, makes it fascinating to consider the ancient practices and tools used to transport and erect these massive stones. Number 11. Sunken treasures. Due to natural disasters like earthquakes, tsunamis, and rising sea levels, the unforgiving sea began the destruction of the city around 200 BC. By 800 AD, it was completely submerged and forgotten for more than 1,000 years. However, in 2000, when scuba divers returned with a piece of sculpture depicting Hapi, the god of fertility and the Nile, the search began and remains of the city were located using sonar technology. Now, it serves as an underwater museum. Historians initially believed that the city of Heraklion was located on Egypt's mainland, but this discovery changed those prior beliefs. Number 12. Oldest footprints. In 1978, Mary Leakey's team discovered an 88-feet-long footprint trail in Letoli, Tanzania, which resembled modern human footprints with large toes in line with the rest of the foot. These footprints are dated back to 3.6 million years ago, capturing a moment when 3 early humans walked on wet, volcanic ash. This ash later hardened and was covered by another layer of magma by a volcano eruption nearby, preserving the footprints. This remarkable discovery provided solid evidence that early humans were walking upright more than 3 million years ago. The alignment of their big toes with the rest of the foot showed that these early humans were evolving to walk on their feet, unlike apes, which have highly divergent toes for climbing trees. The Letoli footprints are a testament to the power of a single moment, preserved for us to ponder and understand the evolution of bipedalism in human ancestors. Number 13. Saqqara bird. When archaeologists were excavating the Padi Iman tomb in Saqqara, Egypt, they found something unusual, a small wooden sculpture that looked like a bird. This wooden artifact is about 14 centimeters long and has a wingspan of 18 centimeters. The artifact dates back to around 200 BC, and although it might look like a bird, a closer inspection revealed it had no feet, which was common in other bird models of that era. This sculpture resembled more of an aircraft model. What's intriguing is that the first known gliding attempt wasn't until the 9th century, raising the question of whether the ancient Egyptians had an understanding of aerodynamics that we are unaware of. Interestingly, Andalusian Abbas ibn Firnas, the first man who tried to fly, failed to descend properly and injured himself due to the lack of a horizontal pectoral fin in his model. However, the Saqqara bird's design includes such a feature, and modern flight simulators have shown that this design could successfully glide and fly, even outperforming models developed until the 18th century. We cannot know for sure if the ancient Egyptians had knowledge of flight or modern aerodynamics, leaving us to wonder. So what do you think? Is it an aircraft model they had in mind, or just a simple toy? Number 14. Mysterious monolith. On February 14, 2021, the residents of the Bandel neighborhood in the capital of Congo experienced a surreal sight during their morning walk. Standing upright in the middle of a roundabout was a 12-foot silver monolith. This mysterious prism quickly captured the attention of the masses and soon the entire world, as similar alien monoliths had previously appeared in other countries like the USA and Turkey. Sci-fi enthusiasts and conspiracy theorists were abuzz, especially given the strong resemblance to the monoliths in Stanley Kubrick's sci-fi classic 2001. A space odyssey where monoliths were placed by aliens to guide humans. However, this monolith didn't last long. It was burned down by a mob after being beaten with sticks. What is your take on these mysterious metals appearing without any warning? Could it be an elaborate prank, an art installation, or perhaps something more otherworldly? Number 15. Seti I. Wrapped in linen bandages, the royal mummy of Seti I was buried in an elegant, light, pale stone coffin at Deir el-Bahri and now rests at the Egyptian Museum in Cairo. Looking at the head of this mummy up close is so eerie, it feels like he could wake up at any moment. Investigations concluded that this pharaoh was younger than 40 years old and probably died due to a heart condition. Seti I, who succeeded Ramesses I, reigned for only 11 years before his untimely death in 1279 BC, making this mummy almost 3,300 years old. Interestingly, his brain was removed with an iron hook through the nose, and his organs were preserved in jars for the afterlife. During the mummification process, natron, a salt, is applied to the body and allowed to dry for 40 days. Then mummified body is wrapped in linen bandages and magical spells are cast to protect the mummy and to ensure its safe arrival in the hereafter. Seti is a display of the incredible skills of Egyptians in mummification. Number 16. Tree of Life. The African baobab tree is an icon of the continent, known for providing over 300 life-sustaining uses. Older than the human species itself, these trees date back as far as 200 million years and can outlive more than 100 human generations. These trees are enormous, with broad, bottle-shaped trunks that can reach up to 100 feet in height. Baobabs, giants of the ages, are fundamental to the dry African environment as they store water from the rainy season in their trunks, providing a crucial water source for hundreds of animals. They also produce vitamin C-rich fruits that benefit both wildlife and humans. The branches of the tree spread out in all directions from the top, resembling roots and giving it the appearance of an upside-down tree. The natives have lived around these trees for centuries, thriving off their numerous uses. These trees are not only remarkable for their size and uses, but also for their unique ability to regenerate bark and create space between stems known as false cavities. Let's hope these giants can withstand the rapidly changing climate and continue to benefit hundreds of animals and humans for generations to come. And with that, we conclude our journey through the unsettling discoveries made in Africa. What are your thoughts on these fascinating finds? Which discovery intrigued you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel to stay up to date on more interesting discoveries and historical puzzles. Let us know what you would want us to explore next. Until next time, goodbye.